You are live. Good evening. Hold on, let me pull up my notes. Good night, good night. What going on, people? So I just wanted to hop on here, real quick. Probably not going to be long, but I was thinking about maybe doing a live with you guys at least once a month. So I wanted to catch this last day of January here before it passes me by. Time goes pretty quickly. What's up, Blackheart? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Where are you viewing from? I was just saying I wanted to start doing some lives because I don't get to interact with you guys much. I put a video up, I get some comments back and forth, but it's not the same. I think as being able to actually get a live engagement with you. So I wanted to hop on here. We could probably do this at least once a month. So I figured I'd catch the month of January before it passed me by and say hello. Um, I didn't put up any prior notice, but that's how it goes sometimes. Kind of just flying by the seat of my pants. But we'll work on preparation for the next one. All right, you're in St. Croix, you're in St. Thomas. I'm in St. Croix right now. I know you've been watching for a while, so I was diving in Florida, but I recently relocated to St. Croix. So that's where the upcoming videos are going to be coming from. Do you do any diving? No? Thank you. Thank you. My heart is in Rock City still, though. We were just diving there in December. But I came over here, around the just before the new year. You wish. That ain't nothing but a thing to change that, man. That's easy business. The pressure. Which pressure? The water pressure? That ain't nothing, man. Take a class. Take the class. Take the plunge. It might be the best thing you do. Oh, the airs. Yeah, a lot of people do have problem with their airs. So you're having trouble equalizing. Have you worked with an instructor yet? Sometimes they're able to give you good feedback on how to, get past those problems. I would start with just diving in shallow. At what point do you have problems with your airs? Start like at 10 feet, 15 feet? Yeah, but in the meantime, I guess we could talk about the lionfish invasion. I can't grasp the concept, never dealt with any. Oh, okay, I got you. So I'm not an instructor, so I can't give you the complete physics, but I'm gonna tell you how I understand it. When you go down in the water, obviously, those passages in your head have air. So that's where the pressure comes from, is pushing against it. So for me personally, when I go down, most of the time, if I don't have my hands free, I'll end up just pushing it out on my own, but I prefer to use my finger. I'll take my finger, press my nose, and pop your ears, kind of like you would do on a plane or like the elevator. It's the same concept for me. Hello, Lolo. Good night for me. Good morning for you. Where are you watching from? And then sometimes people have like medical issues with their ears. There are earplugs as well. Maybe you could try those. Water earplugs, especially made for diving. But I've been on a bit of a lionfish kick lately, in case you can't tell. I mean, I always was seeking out lionfish before on my dives and spearfishing other species. while also, lobstering, um, when it's in season in Florida, obviously. But lately though, lionfish has seemed to kind of take over. But does your air feel normal after you pop them? Yeah, absolutely. Once I pop that pressure out, I'm fine. You still have problems even after you do that? I mean, and unless you're going back up and coming back down again, you shouldn't have an issue with your ears once you pop that air out. Thank you. They seem to be getting received very well. I think people are liking the lionfish more than anything else. You can't do the air thing, man. I don't know. I wouldn't give up just yet, though. I think you should, if you really are interested in diving, you should seek out an instructor and at least give the Discover Scuba a chance. That way, you could see if it's even something you even could possibly do. Because they'll give you the same type of instructions. And that's without doing the class. I would do a Discover Scuba class first. Don't discount it yet, man. That has be one of the bigger complaints is the air problem though. But if you haven't met an instructor yet, then you haven't actually did anything to make sure that it really is a problem for you that you can't get rid of. So I would take the chance. You have a spare gun you never use. You see, no man. Do you free dive at all? I guess that would be an issue too, right? Because that's it. That up and down is even worse free diving because you have to go up and down repeatedly. At least with scuba diving, you going down that one time and you're down there for the rest of the time. You don't have that air problem again once you get rid of it. Yeah, man. We ain't gotta hook you up with somebody in St. Thomas to do a Discover Scuba class. Yeah, but I was saying them lionfish videos seem to be hitting. I was going to get the gear first and practice after, but I got super busy with a baby. Well, babies definitely keep you busy. Definitely keep you busy. But yeah, you definitely need to take a class though. Scuba diving is not something you want to just practice on your own without any kind of instruction from a professional. I mean, if you have access to a pool, that's a good place to practice. Do you have any of the gear yet? And most dive shops are not gonna rent you like a tank or anything without without the cert proof of certification. Yeah, man. People don't understand how fun it is to spearfish. Or just spearfishing gear. Okay, I got you. But so if you're doing that, I mean, that sounds like you want to do more free diving with the spearfishing then, which I like doing that too. It's just that the guys that I'm diving with, they don't like to do free diving. So kind of, I mean, I love both. Both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. Free diving is definitely a more free feeling. You don't have all that gear on your back. Um, I feel like you get where you need to go quicker, but then you can't sit down as long. So scuba is where it's at. But yeah, I mean, with the spearfishing, being that you're in St. Thomas, I mean, as long as you go off of the beach, like at least maybe I don't know what the law is, or maybe over 100 yards, you can spearfish. Haven't done Megan's Bay, but from the boat we did the end of Megan's Bay. So like I don't know what you call it, like Cabrita Point or something, but it's like if you look from Megan's Bay all the way to that last rock is where we were, and it was really nice over there actually. But I've never gone straight out from Megan's Bay. I Some people have told me they have though, and they say it's pretty decent, but I have not had the chance to do that yet. Yeah, Peterborough Point is probably where we were. Big black rock. Went down. I mean, we saw a lot of stuff. We saw um what did I catch over there? I caught a couple lionfish over there too. But I saw there were, what I didn't get over there, that but I saw from a distance some Kubera snapper, and big ones too. They were just too far away. And we had a shark or two on that dive as well. Nothing serious though. They were just, they were around. But yeah. Kubera snapper tastes good, yeah. Yeah, man. Can't beat snapper. The snapper I like the most is schoolmaster though. I feel like I feel like they taste the best. Yellowtail is cool, but schoolmaster snapper meat has a better taste to me. Put that in the oven, bake it. Mm. I just catch a grouper just the other day. It was a rock hind grouper. I've been trying to get a black grouper for a while now. I don't see them much down here. Would see them more in Florida, but them suckers smart. They don't let you get close. Yeah, but you can't lose with grouper. Grouper is a good choice. What's the wildest thing you've seen when diving? The wildest thing I've seen. I don't know. Well, this didn't happen when what I waiting to experience, being able to see some dolphins while I'm diving. The only time I've had that experience in the wild is when we were on the boat. So it was a really, 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 really flat day in Florida. I mean, the ocean had looked like a lake, and we had already done our 2 dives for the day, and we were like heading back in to the inlet to get back to the boat ramp. And it was a couple of them. It was a nice little part of them just swimming next to us and coming up. That was really cool. And your girl hopped back in the water. 'Cause I was like, I getting this on camera. Them boys ain't come close enough for me to really catch. Like I have a shot of it, but it's so far in the distance, you can't even really tell it's other than me telling you it's dolphin, you can't tell that that's what's going on. But I really was trying to get a close up interaction with them. Didn't happen though. So I would like to see that. But I don't know, the wildest thing I've seen. Huh. My wildest experience as of late, I could tell you that my wildest experience is that last dive that we did at French Cap around December, like what was that? Was it Christmas? It was maybe the day after Christmas, probably. And we were diving at French Cap, went to Spearfish, and I had my gun and I had my pole spear with me for some lionfish. My brother had just buy a zookeeper, So I had the zookeeper for lionfish, any lionfish I may run into. And we spot a big one, a really big lionfish. And I catch it. And there was a shark in the distance. I don't really worry about them too much because I mean they there. I expect them to be in the ocean. But this one is like after well, the guy I had dived next to had catch a grouper. He had just catch a rock iron grouper, decent sized one too. So he had a live fish, and then I catch a lionfish. And when I tell you that the shark start coming closer, right? No problem. That's happened before. Not a big situation. But this is the first time, and I kid you not, well, first time? First time in the Virgin Islands that we have had a shark that be aggressive like that. We could have sharks maybe circling around us or swimming nearby us or all that stuff, but this one kept coming in, and I legit had to keep poking it with my spare gun, ready to fire if I needed to, but I don't want to shoot a shark. Not if I don't have to. And if I shoot it, they have to be a good shot, right? Because let me get angry is another thing, right? But I had to keep poking it, man. It keep coming close, keep coming close, keep coming close. I had how many lion? I think I had maybe two lion. Did I have just that one lionfish or two lionfish inside the zookeeper? So I don't know why it is. Maybe it was a lionfish trashing around in the zookeeper, but this guy just would not stop. To the point I ended up having to ascend because I was like, me staying down here with you. And I honestly don't know what kind of shark it is. I am not really good with identifying sharks unless it's the obvious, which is like, tiger sharks because they have those lines, bull sharks because of their body type. I could kind of maybe tell lemon sharks because I've done a lemon shark dive, but I really bad at identify. I've been working on that. It's not easy for me. So I usually have to like play back the video and then go look in my books to like, really see the special markings on it is to decide what it is. I think it might have been like a black tip or something, but don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. A reef shark, Caribbean reef shark maybe. But I'll tell you this: that thing would not stop. That thing would not stop coming towards me. So I had my two bands cocked back on my spare gun, and I was prepared to fire if need be, but I was hoping not to. And we ended up I came up to the top, and I was trying to signal to our boat to come get us out the water because there was no way I was gonna be able to comfortably continue diving or spear fishing, and that thing wouldn't leave me alone. How often do you dive? Man, to be honest with you, I try to dive at least every weekend. I just did one, was it yesterday? I skipped over this weekend, but we dove the weekend before that, and the weekend before that, and the weekend before that. If I could get one in during the week, I would. So that, and I plan to maybe do a little bit more of that too. I could get one in early in the morning. Not every morning, obviously, but maybe schedule one in the week, sometime in the week, and then do it on the weekends. But if there's nothing going on, if we don't have any other plans for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday I'm diving. If it's from the boat, that means at least two dives because we usually do a 2-tank dive. If it's a really good day, it's a 3-tank dive. So you do three dives for the day. But like I said, off the boat, at least 2 tanks. When it's the beach, that just depends on what time of the day we start. Recently here in St. Croix, we'll do 2 tanks. But sometimes one, because if we start later on in the afternoon, then you're running into the darkness, which I don't have a problem with, but it just depends, and depend on how tired you are too. Cause like that last dive that we went on, we went off of it was Rainbow Beach, like to the end of Rainbow Beach. But the reef that we went to was really far out. We could have dove closer in, but we were trying to see what was further out. And so it was a much longer surface swim. So by the time you let's say you take 20 to 30 minutes to swim out, and then you go down and you're down there for maybe an hour, and then you have to swim back, you're probably not going to want to do a second dive. But we have options here. I mean, if you go to like Cane Bay, you could do a wall dive, and that's not really a far swim out. It's really pretty close actually. So you do a wall dive, swim out, maybe I don't know, less than 15 minutes, go down, and it's really deep. Do some wall diving, come back in, take a break if you need to, or swap your tanks out, go back out again. We've done that before, even though it's from the beach. So, but on the boat, once you're packing up that boat, we try to stuff as many tanks on there as we can. Should be going out this weekend. Got some people coming in, so I'll keep you guys abreast on that. Should be fun because the goal is some spear fishing. So I think we're gonna expose what's really available out here this weekend. Because all I've done so far from St. Croix is just beach diving. Haven't touched a boat yet. So I think that's gonna be rather interesting. Have you seen any lionfish while you're out? I don't know how much. I mean, I know you say you have problems diving, so I don't know how often you go out, or maybe if you're snorkeling often or what. But have you run into any yourself? I mean, the lionfish here, when we're in Florida, I mean, I catch lionfish, but we have so many divers in the water and so many divers who actually actively hunt lionfish that you can't go to the reef that everybody else goes to, because the population just ain't gonna be significant. So you gotta like go out of your way to go find lionfish. Here in St. Croix, you're going off the beach, we guarantee to hit double numbers. I The last time I dove, I think I only catch 5, but that's because I missed 10. Now, I didn't miss 10 on purpose. My band broke. So I was working with a defective pole spare. Like I didn't learn my lesson from the last time my band broke, right? I need either 2 bands or 2 spares. I gotta figure something out. I'll probably carry 2 pole spares. It might be easier that way. Maybe double strap one of them. But once that band is broken, it's hard to have real control over that pole spare. So I really could have had at least 15 lionfish on that last dive. So, but we've been, like I tell you, we've been pulling in double digits every single time. And that's just off of the limitation of going from the beach. If we could stick up on a boat and go right back down, we'd be killing it, man. One of the dives, like I think the dive back in September, that was 22 lionfish off of one dive. And I missed few too. I miss a few of them, because they can be a little sneaky sometimes. They could get away from you. Most of the time we could always double back and catch them, but I was able to catch about 22, and then another time after that, I think that was in November, was able to catch 28. So there's a lot of lionfish down here. What up, Queen Aya? Greetings. Welcome. We were just chatting it up about you know, about the lionfish here in St. Croix. And I was getting asked about my last shark encounter. On that last video, you'll see a nurse shark try to like sneak up on me from behind. He had like, touched my leg. And so you could say I was spooked by that because I didn't know what the heck had touched me. And I know nothing was supposed to be next to me. And I turned around and, he was, but the nurse sharks, they're just really pesky. So it's just like somebody, it's just like somebody like scaring you by sneaking up on you and tapping you on the shoulder or something. Yes, we want my sister's a little sensitive to my shark stories. So we won't talk about sharks. Right now, you say who have more lionfish, St. Thomas or St. Croix? Right now, I have to say St. Croix because as much as I have dived on St. Thomas, we have never pulled in the amount of numbers we pull in off of the beach like I pull in over here on St. Croix. So I could definitely I for right now, my experience, I say St. Croix have more lionfish. Like I was telling them earlier, the dive that we did, which is the last video that I posted, that's actually a dive from September. I know it's old, but walk with me here. That dive was from September. And that one beach dive, we pull in 22 lionfish. Understand, one beach dive. That's not even on the second tank. That one dive on the beach, 22. And I missed some. I missed a few. It wasn't a lot, but I missed a few. Another time in November, but that could have been a two tank dive. This second one I'm talking about could have been a two tank dive, and that was about 28 that we pull in. You know, and I was saying before, I have not dived from a boat yet here, so I cannot imagine the numbers that are gonna come. When we hop off from a boat. I think we will be able to cover more area if you have a boat, than diving from the beach. Because diving from the beach is a whole body workout. But the reefs over here are pretty easy to get to. But some of them require a long swim, but not all. You don't always have to swim out. It's just that depending on what we're trying to do, we'll go out further. So if you want to go deeper, you gotta go out further. If you want to get bigger fish, out further out. I ready, man. I ready. The word. I saying the word. I am ready. I mean, I love beach diving, but you can't beat diving off of a boat. It's just easier. And who don't want easy, right? But no disrespect to the beach diving. That's the foundation. That's the foundation right there. And you gotta do what you gotta do. Then that's what you gotta do. But St. Croix is known to be some of the best beach diving in the Caribbean. Give them another thing to boast about. They got great reefs, but I don't know about them beaches, man. If we're gonna talk beach, St. Thomas. Well, we can't top St. John, right? But if we're talking about St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. Thomas got better beaches. The reefs, though, the reefs over here, nice, I must say. They're nice, nice, nice. And you have wall diving. So I'm going to give them their props. Respect to STX. But it would be nice to have a white sandy beach with no rocks. If you come over here to go on the beach, bring some booties because that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna stub some toes, catch a sea urchin in your foot or something. Bring some booties or them nice tough beach socks. Okay, rough out there. STJ, STT, then STX. That's the order right there. This is facts when it comes to the beach. But yeah, Lionfish and St. Croix is killing it. And I think that's part of the reason that I've been on a Lionfish kick lately because although this is like that's what they do. They take over. They breed. Here's the thing, lionfish reach sexual maturity in a year. Most other fish like your snappers and stuff, they take a little longer to reach sexual maturity to where they could reproduce. So they are already advanced in being able to reproduce. Then they could reproduce every 3 to 4 days. Every 3 to 4 days, they can lay 30 to 50,000 eggs. You understand what that means? If somebody could lay 50,000 eggs every 3 to 4 days, that's like 2 million lionfish in a year. They don't have any predators here because they don't belong in this water. They are invasive species. So they have no predators. Nothing is seeking them out. Nothing is actively hunting them. They just chilling. They are the super predator. Okay? They eat anything that could fit into their mouth. So anything smaller than them, anything their size. Once they could corral the fish, they're going to eat it. And they don't stop eating. They are one of the few fish that have fatty tissue. You know why they have fatty tissue? Because they're greedy. They're greedy. They don't stop eating. How did they get here? So the theory is that there's two theories, and they both kind of the same, right? They say that back in like the 1980s, when they had a hurricane in Florida, that one of the aquariums, like maybe the seaquarium or something, had get some damage and lionfish got out. The other theory is that it happened through the exotic pet trade. So you have a nice fish tank in your house. You ordered lionfish. You put them in your tank. For whatever reason, my guess is that the lionfish was probably eating all your fish. So you were like, I can't keep buying fish and you eating my fish. I'm gonna throw you out. So the idea is that somebody had it as a pet and let it out into the ocean. And they just went wild from there. Because like I said, they don't have any predators. They breed like crazy. There's nothing to stop them. But so like I said, it happened in Florida. And from there it just spread. It spread and it made it down our way. They're supposed to be in the Indo-Pacific Ocean. Okay, that's their environment. That's where they actually have predators, and their predators are stuff like grouper, sharks. Not that we don't have these things over here, but they're just not familiar with them. And the spines, they avoid the spines, so they are left to their own devices. They are the king. You know how they say lion is the king of the jungle? Lionfish is the king of the sea right now. The only thing is that they don't grow super big like sharks do. But if they did, we probably wouldn't have a reef. So the problem really is, since they eat so much and they eat whatever can fit into their mouth, they end up eating the reef fish, right? So we talking grouper, snappers, lobsters, parrotfish, and they eat them when they, whatever size that they find them at, whether it's the baby ones, so they don't even get a chance to grow. Problem there now, you reduce the population that we are used to, so there's no the snapper. You don't have no more snapper. Not that you don't have no more, but you reduce the population so low. The parrotfish, I don't know if you noticed, but parrotfish are really crucial to the reef environment. Parrotfish eat the algae off the reef to keep, to keep everything, to keep the algae from overtaking the reef. So if you don't have as much parrotfish as you're supposed to have, and parrotfish produce sand and all of that, all the cool stuff, right? You remove something that's so important to keeping the reef healthy. That's how you start killing the reef. So they not only reduce the population of all the native fish, they end up actually damaging our reef at the same time too. So this is why there's no holes barred on catching lionfish. They don't belong here. So you have open reign on catching them. There's no restrictions on the size. There's no restrictions on how many you could catch by the day. I mean, you can have, if you find 80 of them, you could kill all 80 and take them out, you know? And it's encouraged. Sharks don't attack it. Sharks do not attack lionfish. They have tried to feed sharks, but then you create another problem, right? When we first started having the problem with lionfish, part of the theory was like, okay, let's teach our predators how to kill this thing. So then we started feeding lionfish to sharks. But you know what that caused? That caused sharks to associate us with food. And then you have a problem when you're spearfishing now, because sharks going to be tailing you around expecting to get food. They get aggressive, so we had to stop doing that. uh, you know but the sharks do not just attack lionfish. They don't. You can find video of like a Nassau grouper eating a lionfish. You could find a video of a barracuda eating a lionfish, but it's just not something that's happening enough to say that it's actively happening to even make a dent. They just avoid them, whether it's they think they're poisonous, whether it's they know the spines hurt. It's probably what it is. They probably know the spines hurt and they avoid them. So what do they taste like? So personally for me, I think lionfish taste really good. They are tender. There's a tender meat. It's a mild flavor, so you don't have that normal fishy flavor that you have. Like, I feel like, even though I like grouper is a little fishy. Um, Kingfish is very fishy. So if I give you that scale, I hope you can understand. Lionfish is at the bottom of that scale. It's very mild flavored. And so basically it can take on anything you toss at it. So however you want to prepare it, whatever spices you throw on it, that's what it's going to taste like. It's really it's moist. It's a moist fish. Most people tell me that it tastes like, if I ask, they'll say it tastes like grouper, but I personally don't think it tastes like grouper. But it's delicious. I love it. We do coconut lionfish. That's kind of like coconut shrimp, but with lionfish instead. That is perfect. Um, Makes great ceviche. That's when you throw the citrus juices on the lionfish raw and let the citrus juices cook the lionfish along with, like, bell peppers and other things, and eat it like that. That's really good. I had one at the Mango Melee here in St. Croix before, and Michael Funk from the core program was doing taste testing with lionfish ceviche, but with pieces of mango. Oh my gosh, that was good. So I will let some of my viewers here tell me what they think lionfish tastes like, because I have a few people here that have had lionfish from me, and I would like the breakdown from them because hello mommy, hello mommy, welcome to the VI. Ain't lionfish poisonous? Lionfish is not poisonous. So that's a misconception. Lionfish is venomous. So the difference between that is venomous things have to poke you or bite you in order to infect you. So you have to get stung by the lionfish spines are sticking up. You have to get stung by the lionfish, and then its venom would release into you. But you can't eat lionfish and get poison, if you understand what I mean. I mean, you could get poison off of any fish if it's infected with ciguatera, but not in the way you're asking. And you can actually cook lionfish with the spines on. Heat denatures the venom. But like I said, you have to get poked in order to be affected by their venom. So they're not poisonous. You usually just cut the spines off, and you can eat the fish like a regular fish. Good question. A lot of people ask about that. They have shark feeding exhibitions in the Bahamas, though. They do, and it's really not encouraged. I mean, the Bahamas is a different kind of beast. They do shark feedings to do shark dives to bring in sharks, and in Florida, that's not encouraged because it just changes the animal behavior. Do you see any other solutions beside people capturing that species? That is the only solution right now. Getting more divers in the water, getting awareness out there, and getting more divers in the water, encouraging divers to add that to their list of things to do. Because like here in St. Croix, there's a lot of divers, but they only dive. There's no, people aren't spear fishing, you know what I mean? So it's more about bringing the awareness to them and maybe having them added to their repertoire. That's how it started for me. I started out just diving. That didn't last very long though. I got certified, and I swear to you, I don't know. That lasted maybe 3 months, and then I catch a lionfish, and that was it. I kind of moved on from there. I catch a lionfish. I had enjoyed that. I hunt lobster and had fun with that. And I mean, who doesn't want free lobster? I don't know. I mean, it ain't free because I have to pay for my dive and my tank and my air. But fresh caught lobster can't be that. And then I move on to spear fishing fish with a gun, spear gun. So, but after that started, it was wraps. It was wraps for that. But yeah, that's the solution right now. It's just getting divers in the water, taking them out. Hello, Taylor. Night. When can I come get some? Man, you flying over? You flying over? If you fly over to St. Croix, I could promise you some tacos for sure. I got lionfish meat in the freezer right now. It's either that or the next time I come back to St. Thomas, I'm gonna hook you up. Or we could see if Aya could give you two, because I sure I leave some in the freezer in St. Thomas too. Good night, animal lover. Yeah, salmon is a favorite, but for me, salmon is a more fishy fish, right? Lionfish is not so fishy. Do you sell the fish too? I am not selling the fish yet, but I'm working on that. I'm looking into the process of doing that correctly over here. It might take some time because right now in the islands and everything takes time. But that's my plan though. I hope to do that soon. Da, da. Lionfish is, here we go. Lionfish now, they are taking over. Yes, that is correct. So, originally from the Indo Pacific, when they got introduced here, they got introduced in the Atlantic. From the Atlantic, they made it to the Caribbean. And now, in the last, I think it's the last year or two, they have pretty much started invading the Mediterranean Sea. Absolutely right. They're spreading. They're spreading. They're all over now. And it's such a beautiful fish, you know? That's what a lot of people like to tell me. It's like, it's such a beautiful fish. How can you shoot it? I mean, it is really beautiful, but the implications of them staying in the waters that they do not belong in are greater, than the beauty. We can absorb their beauty in the Indo-Pacific Ocean and leave them alone. But they taste good too. I mean, they taste good. Has anyone gotten to taste lionfish here? Anyone on the chat? What did you think about it? I think I will get certified and come help say that would be great. I don't believe you because I know you, but that's something I would love to hear. Sister Jot, she got jokes. She don't even want to be under the water too long. Yeah, man. So my question to you guys, what is it that you guys are looking forward to on the channel? What is it that you would like to see more of? You enjoy the lionfish and want to see more of that? That's gonna be a given and going to happen. But I just want to get feedback on what it is you like. Do you like the spear fishing videos more? Do you like the catch and cooks? Or do you just want like cook videos only? What's your take on that? Yes, but they are eat hungry and also they sting. Yeah, so that's why you have to learn how to handle them. I would never encourage anyone to start hunting lionfish until you learn about them. You have to learn about them. They have 18 venomous spines across their body. There's 13 at the top. And maybe I'll have to do a demonstration so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But they have 13 lionfish. They have 13 venomous spines at the top. Those are the most prominent. That's the one that look like the mohawk, right? You could see those from a mile away. They stick out. They're really long. Then you have 3 more on the anal fin, and then 1 on each of the pelvic fins, right? It's for a total of 18. So as long as you know where those are and avoid them, right? You use a 3-prong pole spear. That's the tool that you're going to use for the lionfish, because if you use anything else, you have a greater chance of getting stung. Because for instance, and I've done it before, right? But you have to know what you're doing. If you use a spear gun to shoot a lionfish, now you have one steel object inside of a lionfish, and all it's going to do is spin around. It has no stability whatsoever. And most of the time when you shoot lionfish, they don't die right away because you're not even shooting them in a place that's going to take them out, right? So now you have a fish that has free reign on this steel pole. Unless you have a pole spear, which with the 3 prongs to keep them stable and to stop them from moving, you increase your chances of getting stung, right? You need a zookeeper or some other lionfish containment unit. That's going to be something that you can take the lionfish from the pole spear, stick that in there, and never have to worry about getting poked again, right? You don't worry about that until you get back up on land. That's when you have to manage the spines again. So it's very important to know where everything is on the lionfish and which parts of it can hurt you. The fins that are on the side, the pretty ones that kind of just sway in the water, those don't have any venomous spines on them. But once you know where they are and you're back on land and you can remove the spines, they are prepared just like any other fish. You can fillet them, you can leave them whole, you can do whatever you want with them. All right, so we have a vote for catch, clean, and cook. I like those two. Those take me a little longer because I don't do the cook the same day, but I can definitely start doing a few more of those. I have tasted it and love it. My question to you is: you've tasted it and loved it, but what's your take on how they taste? Like, what do they taste like? What would you compare it to? Taylor also says, I like catch, clean, and cook. Aya says all of the above. Animal lover, I want to see more cooking videos, catch, clean, and cook. And my request that I requested in your Instagram DM. Remember, I'll give you a super thanks for doing my request. You got it, man. To be honest with you, being here, I don't really see lobster very often. Well, not much at all, to be honest with you. And the ones that I do see, they've been the Spanish lobster, and they're really small. But I'm sure we'll find a honey hole soon enough. Maybe this weekend, to be honest with you. It probably will happen this weekend. But most of the dives that I've been doing recently have not been producing lobster at all. You know, not like in St. Thomas. I'm almost guaranteed to at least see one nice fat lobster that I could take home. But over here, diving from the beach, we haven't really seen lobster like that yet. That's because of their fatty tissue. I'm not sure what you're asking about. What's because of their fatty tissue? Peterborough Point. You want to see Peterborough Point? Is that what you were saying that for? Because I have a dive from over there. So if that's what you're asking, I probably could start editing that video for you. What encounters have you seen with lionfish and stingrays? I haven't seen any encounters with lionfish and stingrays. Anytime I see stingrays, they're just chilling in the sand or swimming away. I haven't seen any around any lionfish. Not yet. I would also like gear reviews. Gear reviews on what type of gear? What type of gear are you most interested in seeing? I've done a flashlight one, which is a flashlight that I use on a daily basis. I did one on the toothless spear fishing floats that I use when we have the boat and we spear fish and send the fish up. I haven't done one, but I have dive watch that we could do reviews on. What is it that you're most interested in? All I want to see is they will get less every day from Atlantic and Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean already suffering from overfishing. True. So in the Mediterranean, they need to start targeting the lionfish. They have to get the commercial spear fishers and the recreational divers. I know it's in the works because I've been in contact with some of the people that's been talking about it. So I know it's in the works, but I guess it's a matter of time, just like it took us a matter of time in the Atlantic as well. How long after they are dead are the spines still harmful? So they stop producing venom once they're dead. However, if you get poked, like the venom isn't gone until 8 hours. So within that 8 hour window, you can still suffer from getting poked by lionfish. I hope you were not. No, I haven't hunted any lobster. I'm in St. Croix right now. I haven't hunted any lobster here. When you see those videos of me with lobster, They were either in Florida or St. Thomas. St. Croix has not shown me any real spiny lobster yet. I enjoyed yellowtail, but I was pleasantly surprised by the wenchman that tastes great. I haven't had wenchman. I have to see about that. I gotta fix that. Have you had schoolmaster? Schoolmaster snapper is it's up there for me at least. I think it's real sweet. If you oven bake it, it's a real sweet meat. When you spare them and they don't die, is it because of the fatty tissue? Oh no. When I spare them personally and they don't die, it's just that where their organs are, it's just harder to kill them right away. Just because of how for me, this is my personal belief. Because their head is really hard. And per me personally, I try to now I don't get it every time, but my intention is to aim for the head because their flesh is very tender. So if I spare them and they shake, they're probably gonna be able to get off if my pole spear doesn't have like one of the barbs to hook them on, or if I don't catch them deep enough to where they can't get off. But no, it has nothing to do with the fatty tissue. It's just a matter of where the spear hits them when you spare them. Most times it's body shots. Their organs are like to the bottom of their body. So now I have knocked some out on impact. It's possible to kill them when you spare them, but it don't happen all the time. Hey, Taylor, from your mouth to God's ears, my son. The last time I don't tell you to come back and ask me if I find any gold in any shipwreck, or on the sand or something, because the last time you asked me about this earthquake thing, I had never experienced the earthquake, and then the next thing you know, like a month later, on spares. Okay. And features of spares. Because I actually wanted to do one on pole spares because I've got my hand on a couple different ones. Personally, I got a Lionator pole spare not too long ago, and that's been my favorite one for lionfish so far. It's especially he made those pole spares with the intention for hunting lionfish, and he did a really good job. But okay, I'll take that into account. Some spares. Can you show a fish brawl? A fish brawl? What do you mean? I don't think well, I wouldn't call that a brawl though. I do have a video of a fish eating another fish, and it's like in the middle of like the last thing you can see is the head, and it's like literally was it a lizard fish? I think it was a lizard fish eating. I can't remember what kind of. It was probably eating a grunt, and the grunt's head was still out of the fish mouth. That was rough, and it had a Graysby snapper not a Graysby snapper, a Graysby grouper nearby that was trying to like probably eat the fish too. But I don't think I have any fish brawl. You know what I do have? Well, no, I don't have it because I didn't have my camera the last time it happened. I have an eel trying to take away my mackerel. I had caught a mackerel, and I wasn't diving from a boat. I was diving from the beach. So I had my fish stringer, and I put it down because I don't like to keep fish on me when I'm in the ocean. I don't like to keep fish on me because, I don't know when I'm going to turn around and a shark is behind me. So if I'm actively doing something where I cannot keep my eyes about everywhere, I put the fish down. So I was about to go spare a lionfish, and when I turned back to go get my my fish stringer, I was just seeing like kicked up sand, and I went over there, and it was a moray eel. Done had his whole mouth over the head of my mackerel, so I had to poke him so I could get my fish stringer back. And that was the one day that I forget my camera. I was kind of mad that I didn't catch that on camera. I've had a run in with a moray eel before. It's bit my fish bag and tried to take my fish. But that's the only kind of brawl I could tell you that I've witnessed. But not like a fish on fish brawl. Not yet, at least. Do you catch conch shellfish? Yes, I do catch conch. I caught one. Was that last month? Yeah, I caught one last month. I cleaned the conch, but I have not prepared it yet. I cleaned it and put it in the freezer. But if I see conch again, I'll probably do a catch and cook. At the moment, in some Mediterranean Sea countries, they have competition for puffer fish. They are doing damage as well. Oh, soon I believe they will be starting for lionfish as well. Puffer fish is a little bit more tricky though, because aren't some of them poisonous? You have to like know what to remove from the fish in order to not get poisoned. I don't think I'd ever mess with puffer fish personally, but that is very interesting. But yeah, I mean, if I can ever get over to the Mediterranean Sea, I'm willing to take them out. Shuni! Hi, Juju Beans. What's your most memorable dive? Where is your favorite place to dive so far? My most memorable dive. My most memorable. You know what one of my most favorite ones are? This was this was a time, I think it was probably like a spring break, maybe 2 years ago. And my nephew and the brother came up to come dive with us. And everybody always asks me if I have shark encounters, and back then I could honestly say not very many, right? Not that we don't see sharks, but they always off in the distance, just doing their own thing, never paying us any not paying us any mind. But they came up, and it was supposed to be like all about diving that week, right? And I kid you not, the very first dive that we did, we hopped in that water, and everybody's on feeling good. Everybody's spear fishing, getting the thing done, right? I think at that point, at least myself and my nephew, at least for sure, had caught a fish. I know this because a shark came up to us, a hammerhead shark, and that one started circling, right? And I just was like trying to get my nephew's attention, just to let him know, because he had a fish in his hand that he had just shot. And like, hey, just keep an eye, because I have a fish circling. And when I tell you, that boy, he had never had any shark experience. So I think it got the better of him. And that shark never really went away. It wasn't aggressive, but it was circling us. It was very, very curious. And then at some point, it started coming towards us, and my nephew dropped the fish. While it was circling, he dropped the fish. And when I saw that he dropped the fish, I was like, what are you doing? You're about to give it a free meal, and it's going to expect more. So I went over there and grabbed the fish. When he sees me, he looked at me and he's like, what is she doing? But the best part of that was the commentary afterwards, man, because when we got back up on the boat, man, that boy was like, I don't fear nothing, but I about to put hair, I fear sharks. I fear sharks. It was really funny. It was a really, 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 really funny day. So I would probably say that that's my most memorable dive. Where's your favorite place to dive so far? That's a tough one, because any day under the sea is a day better than a day on land for me. um But I can answer that question for you, and I would have to say Dominica. Dominica, where I haven't dove there in a while, because it's been a minute since I've been over there. But when I did get to dive over there, they have the most beautiful reef. The colors, they still have color. Like, our coral over here is struggling to stay alive, but they have so much color under the sea. The sponges are bright yellow and bright purples, and the water clarity is stupendous. The barrel sponges are still like this dark brown reddish color. Dominica is really beautiful underwater as well as above. And they have different things. They have wall diving. That was the first time I got to wall dive, was in Dominica. um they have Champagne Reef, where it's like the sulfur springs kind of like boiling from the bottom, so you actually look like you're swimming in champagne, because you constantly have little bubbles floating up from the ground. Very cool stuff over there. They don't eat them, they just remove them, kill. They don't eat them? Well, you see, that's the problem. Once they start eating them, then they will have a problem getting people to remove them. They should definitely start eating them. That's a waste. That's a waste to just kill them and not use them for food, because they really taste good. How's the water temperature? Can you deal with chilly water? Can, like, say, like Canadian water? Man, I'm an island girl. I don't like cold anything. Right now though, what was my last dive? I'll tell you now. One of my dives was 82 degrees. I think let me see. I know September was like 87 degrees. Right now the water temperature is probably 82. Canada water, I don't think I'd be able to take Canada water. Canada water would require me to get dry suit certified. I've never dove in a dry suit, so I'd have to get dry suit certified, because I don't think I could manage the chilliest water. I believe I have dove in, and I'd have to go back through my log to see, but I believe it was probably 68 degrees, and that's cold. 68, 65. I remember this because I think we were lobster diving, and we killed it that night. That night of lobster diving was a really good night, but it was cold. It was colder above the water than it was below, but cold nonetheless, because with the wind chill when you got back up on the boat, it was terrible. But yeah, I don't like cold water. Caribbean, see me please. Yeah, I have the video for that still up. Just you go back to my videos, maybe go to my playlist for sharks. Real time reaction. I mean, that was hilarious. He had all of us dying of laughter, man. He was serious too. Yes, ma'am. Gotta get to Dominica. Let's see. How did you develop the fearlessness? Man, I don't know if I could answer that question. It's a good question, but I don't know if I could answer that. It just is. Because here's the thing, right? When I started diving, like how people are always ask you, "Oh, you're not scared of sharks?" And I'm like, back then when I started diving, my answer was I don't know, because I had never experienced it, right? I know they're out there. I know it's a possibility of running into them. But when I was still a fresh diver, I couldn't tell you whether I was scared of sharks, because I hadn't had the encounter yet. Encounters happened. I think it's kind of started with nurse sharks first, right? When you learn about nurse sharks, you don't fear nurse sharks. Nurse sharks don't have no teeth. Not to say that they can't damage you if they get a hold of you, because they suck. They have, they sucker on, and they could mess you up. But they don't have any actual teeth. So then you learn about nurse sharks, and you're like, nurse sharks ain't no biggie, right? You see regular sharks in the ocean eventually. They usually keep their distance. But I can honestly say I wasn't fearful. I don't have an explanation for you as to why. It just is. um the only time I could say I was like a little shaken up happened actually very recently. This was just last month in St. Thomas, where we had a shark that was just being aggressive for no reason, as far as I'm concerned, just being aggressive and would not stop being aggressive. I had to poke it a couple times. I wouldn't say I was scared, but it was starting to concern me because it would not stop being aggressive. And I've never had a shark do that before. But I was prepared because I had my spare gun loaded. I don't target sharks, so it's never my intention to shoot a shark. But if I have to defend myself, for sure. But when I knew that there was a fearlessness to me is when I did a night dive and wasn't worried about what could be behind me. Because that was a thing too. That was a new thing for me when I first did it. I didn't know what a night dive would make me feel like. I got in and I was fine. I actually had no problem with it. I was at peace. It's weird. Because, in a night dive, once you turn that light off, I'm talking about is midnight pitch darkness. You cannot see anything. So if my light is not shining on the thing that I'm trying to see, I cannot see it. So if my light is this way and I turn behind me, I cannot see what's going on behind me. But I wasn't scared. I love night dive. Listen, night dives is one of the best dives. You don't get to see so much. There's so much that you don't see during the day that you get to see at night. I get to see the shrimp floating around. I don't really see shrimp during the daytime. The stuff that glow in the dark you see at night. you know, um, the little jellyfish that is it the comb jellies? The comb jellies that kind of have this like electricity flowing through them during the night. Is the coolest stuff. Lobster is easier to catch at night. We spare fish at night, but not much. I don't really like the idea of spare fishing at night because, like I said, I can't see, and it's a lot to grapple with too. You gotta like load back your spare gun in the darkness of night. I'm not really a fan of that, so I kind of stick to the lobstering and catching lionfish during the nighttime. Mm, you know, but I really hate when I see something that's really big that would have been a good catch, and I don't have my gun. So then I grapple with that. It's like, okay, carry the spare gun just in case you have a once in a lifetime sighting, but I don't really intentionally go night spear fishing. Yeah, you could say she was born like this. Probably that's it. It definitely skip you in that category. Fearlessness, it comes to you naturally if you love the ocean. I could see that. I could agree with that. Which night dive, Taylor? You know how much night dives I do in my time of diving? Which one you talking about? I love a night dive. We probably might go on one this weekend. You don't understand, man. And it's like the colors of the reef, the octopus. I mean, they don't change colors during the day, but it's a different vibe at night, man. It's a different vibe at night. Love night diving. Madness to you, cool to me. Doesn't the light attract animals? The light attracts plankton. So on a lot of my night dive, if I do like the night dive videos and post them up, you will see a lot of stuff like, you know, in the camera view. Because them little phytoplankton and zooplankton and all of them kind of plankton is what I get attracted to the light. Sometimes shrimp too. But no animals. Animals actually seem to have the opposite effect. Even fish, like if you get your light and you like beam it on the fish, sometimes it'll take off the other way. I've been seeing some neon things floating while fishing at night. Yeah, that could be like the little jellyfish them, or it could be the like them plankton that show the bioluminescence. The best part when you're night diving is like, and I usually do this like towards the end of the dive. I turn off my light so that I'm in pitch darkness, and I do this, and that stirs up all the little like plankton that's in the water that can glow, and it's almost like disturbing fireflies. It's kind of cool. I had belong in what's the name of that movie with about the water? I had belong in back in my VRS days, night free diving was the best. I have no idea who sent us to do this. It was so reckless now that I think about it. It's super peaceful though and beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely peaceful. That's still of the night and early in the morning. That's the most peaceful you're gonna see the beach. Do you encounter gators? The only time I encounter gators is if I in freshwater. Like in Florida, they have freshwater springs. That's the only time. And well, I didn't actually encounter a gator. I just heard that there was one in the water. That was in where was that? That was in what's that spring I was in the other day? Not Guinea Springs. Can't remember the name right now. But yeah, they have gators there, so it's at the freshwater. Now I saw a video the other day with a gator in salt water somewhere in Florida, but I wasn't around for that. That's wild to me. Night dive is fantastic. If you get hooked, you don't want to dive during the day. Yeah. Yep, I'm telling you. Night dives are so peaceful. Like we seek to go out at night because it just is a different feeling, man. Night dives, I'm picking up them people's side objects when she cleaning the beach is wild. Listen, it was a beach dive. You're supposed to pick up the trash that you find. That's all I was doing. I was picking up trash, beautifying the ocean, removing the things that did not belong there, that people throw in there. Crazy. I agree, Aya, but the ocean and I thank you, Taylor. Somebody understands. I try to do, I will probably do a little bit more of this, but I try to do like, especially when I go to St. Thomas for like a week and do a couple days of diving. I try to like end the trip with a beach dive. I would like to make that a bigger thing. But I try to end the trip with a beach dive. Just make me feel like I give back from what I take. And we ain't short on trash in the ocean, unfortunately. Nighttime ocean wakes up, everything comes alive. Yeah, and you have stuff that are sleeping during the day that wake up at night. But I like to see the shrimp the most. Manatees and turtles are the coolest. I agree. They're really cool animals. Here in St. Croix, you run into turtles a lot. I have never ran into a manatee while diving. Not yet. They have manatee dives. It's usually at the springs, especially in the wintertime. There's this area, it's like by a power plant. Um, and I guess that area of the water is warm, so the manatees tend to like go there. So that's a place they usually set up dives for that, but I've never done it. But the gentle giants of the sea. Guys, I am sorry about that, but my laptop took a crap. I don't know why it froze up, but it did. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if still. Okay, are you guys able to see me? My laptop froze. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but we're getting it to start back up again. Sorry about that. I don't know. Maybe it was giving me a hint. I'm sure it was a couple minutes ago, so I'm sure I lost a few people. But we can probably do this again tomorrow. Like I said, we're gonna be going diving on the weekend. So I'll probably bring the guys on tomorrow if we have time. Uh, or- so if you guys, I'll see what time that we should do that, and then you should end the stream now in case this stream keeps freezing on you. Okay. Cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Once I set up a time, I'll try to make an announcement a little earlier in the day so give you guys a little bit more heads up, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the other end. Bye.